Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video we are doing a shop my stash, and this is my November and December shop my stash. I like to do these about every 2 months. Those of you that are makeup lovers and collectors like myself probably know how it goes sometimes. You can have a product that you absolutely love that kind of gets lost and forgotten. So this is just a good way to help me rotate through what I have, use some of the things in my collection. A lot of these are newer things that I have, but I also like to try and pull in some things that are some old favorites that maybe I haven't used for a while. But I'm excited to share with you guys the things that I have picked. A lot of these are very holiday appropriate. I'm definitely thinking holiday season here, and fall, and a little bit of winter as well. So I think we've got some really fun things. Before we get into it, welcome to any of you that are new to my channel. I hope that you will consider subscribing and ring the notification bell if you would like to know every time I upload a new video. And with that said, let's jump into the things that I have picked out for November and December. Alright you guys, so here are the things that I've picked out for my shop my stash. As usual, there's probably too many, but that's okay. I like having options, and I don't adhere to any sort of rules. Like, I don't have to use everything here. This is just to keep things rotated, keep things at my fingertips so I kind of remember to use them. I kind of use this as like my first place to go when it comes to putting on my makeup or playing with makeup. But let's start off with a primer. Did I only pick one primer or two primers? I have two primers in here. First off is the Garnier Skin Active Glow Boost Illuminating Moisturizer. I talked about this a lot during the summertime. I love this stuff. It's a very good, I mean exactly what it says, illuminating moisturizer. It's just very hydrating. It's not overly glowy or overly hydrating, so I kind of feel like this would work for a lot of different skin types. I feel like if you, especially for normal to dry skin, I think you'd really enjoy this. But I really love putting this on right before I put my foundation on, just of like 5 minutes or so before I put it on. It's pretty affordable for 2 ounces of product. I think I got this at Walmart for around $9 to $10. Also, for a primer, I pulled in my Milani Soft Focus Glow. I've been using this quite a bit lately. There's some things I don't like about this, and I think I've touched on them on my channel before. It does separate quite a bit. Let me just show you guys whenever. Okay, well I did use it this morning, so it's not that separated, but sometimes I'll squirt it out and you have like a bunch of liquid that comes out first before you get to kind of the creamy product. But it does have really good skincare ingredients inside of it, and I do like the way it feels on my skin underneath foundation. So I do like it. There's just some things about it that I dislike, but it is a pretty good product. Now for foundations, I always have this one in here. This is my Flower Beauty Light Illusion Foundation. You guys probably know this is my very favorite foundation right now. Absolutely love it. I have 3 bottles of this stuff, and I feel like I always need to have this on hand. I don't necessarily wear it every day, but I definitely wear this more than any other foundation in my collection currently. And this one is in the shade Nude L3, which is a pretty good match without having to mix things in with it in the winter time for me. Also for foundation, I pulled in my It Cosmetics Illumination CC Cream. This is in the color Light. Love this stuff. This is also a really good, hydrating, beautiful looking on the skin foundation. I really love this stuff. One more foundation. I pulled in the Milani Conceal and Perfect foundation. This is in the color 03 Light Beige. I love this foundation. Another one of my favorites. I've been using it a lot for the last 4 or 5 days and just remembering why I love it so much. I think it's because it is a thicker foundation, but it's not heavy on the skin. It just feels like a really nice moisturizer on my skin. It looks good on my skin. It's good high coverage without being heavy. For concealer, I just realized I was going to pull in another concealer. I think I'm also going to pull in my 2 CoverGirl concealers, which I've been using those quite a bit for the last about 3 weeks. But I'm going to pull back in my Too Faced Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. This is in the color Vanilla. Just because I had this in my last shop my stash, but during that period I didn't use it a lot because I was testing out some other concealers. And it is one of my favorites, so I'm going to pull that in as well. As for a powder, I'm just going to pull in this. It's been a while since I've used this. This is my RCMA No Color powder. I love this stuff. It's very inconvenient packaging, but if you are someone that doesn't like powder, but you feel like you need a powder, this is a really good powder because it's so lightweight, but it absolutely does not show color on your skin. Like some of the other white powders I've tried look either overly glittery or illuminating, or they leave kind of a white cast. This doesn't do that. It just set your makeup in the most basic and simple way. Now let's move into face products. Pulling back in my Milk Makeup Bronzer Stick and Baked. I've been using this more than I've used a product for consecutive days, probably since I started my YouTube channel. And that's saying something because I try out a lot of things, I rotate through a lot of things, I rarely use the same thing for longer than like a week at a time, but I just cannot stop using this thing. I love it. Can't recommend it enough. So good, so easy to apply, lasts all day, perfect color. One of my favorite makeup products in my entire collection right now. I also pulled in this. I put it back in the box because Honestly, I don't know why. I'm weird like that. I just feel like I need to protect this very expensive makeup product. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Ghost palette. I just did a video on this very recently, which I will link right here. I think it just went up a couple of days ago actually, but I'm really happy with this. I want to keep using it because I need to figure out if this thing is worth $80. I don't quite know what I was expecting with this palette. I mean, I think the biggest thing right now that I guess I'll say, I hate to use the word disappointed because the performance of this so far is amazing, but the amount of product that you get inside here is quite small. They're basically the size of their minis, which I also was almost shocked when I bought that at how small it actually is. I know a lot of people say Hourglass powders though last a long time. You don't go through them as quickly as you would other powders, but I still need to figure out if I think this is worth $80. A part of me thinks I may never be able to say anything is worth $80 just because that's not my mindset, but I'm going to keep playing with it and definitely keep getting some use out of it, especially since I spent the money. It's gone, so I need to use that thing. A couple other face products I pulled in. The Essence Pure Nude Highlighter, which is broken, but you guys probably all know this product is amazing. My guess is you probably all have this product. And if you don't, well, go spend the $3 or $4.99 and grab it because it is incredible. I also pulled in this Co-Sauce thing right here. This is just their cream blush and highlight duo. Love the cream blush in here. Like the cream highlight. It's very subtle. It's a little bit too subtle for me. I actually like, considering my makeup taste is pretty, what I think, neutral, I really do like a nice blinding highlight. So I kind of feel like this one's a little bit light for me, but I'm going to try and get some use out of it. A couple other face products. The Coty Airspun Loose Face Highlighter. I featured this in my most recent favorites video. This one is in the color Snow Much Ice. Beautiful highlight. This is kind of my favorite highlighter right now. It's a little tricky to use just because it's a loose highlighter. They are a little bit more finicky. They're not as quick and easy, but the actual highlight is gorgeous and glossy looking. It does have like micro fine glitter in it, so just be aware of that, but I don't think it's like detectable glitter. These are very, very subtle, but I just love the like smooth, glassy finish this gives to your skin. It's so pretty and so reflective. Two powder blushes I grabbed are basically two opposites, kind of for different type of looks. First off is ColourPop's Lunar Has It. Love this blush. This is a good, it's like a mix between a peach blush and a bronzer. I really love pairing this with kind of warmer toned eyes, like terracotta sort of eyes or peach toned eyes. And I do those eye looks quite a bit, so this is a really good blush for warmer toned eye looks. As for cooler toned eye looks, this has been my favorite lately. This is from Collab. This is their blush in Just for Fun. I love this kind of dusty, sort of cool toned, almost like a baby pink, but in a little bit more of like a blue toned way, but it's also not like blue or purple. It's still pink. It's just so pretty. For cool tone looks, this is my favorite blush to reach for. I also pulled in the Physicians Formula Dewy Blush Elixir. This one is in the color Gorgeous Peach. Talked about this also in my recent favorites video, but I love this, especially on days where I want like lighter coverage, where my skin's looking relatively nice. That's when I especially love this stuff, but I think you could even use it for kind of more full coverage kind of looks if you like that kind of fresh and dewy kind of look, which I absolutely do. Such a pretty product. So let's jump into the eyeshadow palettes that I picked out. And there's quite a few of them. Let's start with the big ones. First off, the So Jaded palette. I haven't been reaching for this for the last, probably for the last 3 or 4 weeks. I was using it all the time when I did my 7 looks video, and then for the next week or so, I was constantly using this thing. Such a fun palette, and I think perfect for the holidays. You've got like a green in here, you've got a red, you've got some beautiful gold and champagnes. Also pulled in the Sunkissed palette. I did a video on this one recently, and I feel terrible because after I bought this in store at my Walmart, well, at a Walmart near me, and when I came home to link it in that video, I found this thing is very hard to find online. They actually don't even sell this specific Sunkissed one on the Profusion website anymore. So this is one I would say if you have a Walmart near you, if they sell Profusion, that's probably your best bet for finding this thing. I kind of hate to pull it in and talk about it. I wish I would have known that before I filmed that video. I would have gone with a different palette, but this color scheme is just so fun. I still haven't reached for these blues, and I think for wintertime, maybe I'll do a pretty blue look and me and Charlie will go see the new Frozen movie. Because we all know my boys aren't going to go with me to that movie. And of course, for the holidays, I had to pull in the Tati palette. This is definitely a palette I'm especially excited to reach for the holidays. These glitters are super pretty. I'm not a huge glitter fan. I'm definitely not a fan of the ColourPop glitters. These are a little bit easier to use. I don't think they move around quite as much. Most of the fallout that I got in that video was from handling the palette and not from actually putting the glitter on my eyelids. I still think there's going to be fallout with this palette if you're not careful, but it is super pretty, and I think for Christmas and New Year's, this is definitely a palette that I feel like is made for those occasions. But I am enjoying this palette. I don't think it's the most colorfully creative palette in the world, but I think the textures inside it are really fun, and it's definitely perfect for the holidays. So I wanted to keep the Carly Bible palette in here. I know I've recently talked about how there's a few things about this palette that disappoint me, but I do really like the color scheme, and I really do love these two shades right here, especially for wintertime. I really do love this gold. It's like one of the best golds I think I have in my collection right now. And I do really love this pink and this red as well. There's a lot of colors in here I really love. And I just got this palette. I feel like I did the 7 looks with it and then haven't really used it much since then, so I do want to get some more use out of it. As for another Anastasia palette that I really do love, especially for wintertime, it's the Sultry palette. I know you guys can't buy this palette anymore unless you happen to see it at TJ Maxx or Marshalls. If you do, I'm pretty sure they're probably all gone now, but if you happen to see it there, I highly recommend this palette. It's one of my favorites, especially for kind of more neutral leaning cooler tone looks. This color is so fun, this gray, and I love putting this gray underneath some of these shimmers in here. And the formulas in here are all fantastic. And I think that's it for eyeshadow palette. So let's move into a couple of eyebrow products. For my brows, and I'll probably just leave these sitting on my desk because I can't put these in the bin or they'd actually get lost, and I end up reaching for them even less than I would if they were in my brow drawer. But you guys know I've been loving the Ultra Slim Brow Pencil from Ulta Beauty. This one is in the shade Taupe, I believe. No, Blonde. I've been using the Ash Taupe one. I think I like that one a tiny bit better, but this one does still work for me. I want to get some use out of it. It's such a good brow product. Also pulling in the Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer. You can buy this at, I think you can buy it online at Walmart, and you can also buy it at Marshalls, sometimes at TJ Maxx, so I need to try and find another one of these. If you find it at Marshalls, they're really cheap. I want to say they're like $2.99. And then I want to get some use out of my IT Cosmetics Brow Power Pencil. I don't know how I have so much product left in this. This thing is over a year old, but I feel like it's never going to run out. The thing I don't like as much about it, it's a little bit stiff and it's also a little bit wide. I wish it was just a tiny bit more narrow. But it is a really good brow product. It's a great color match for me. I have 3 mascaras this month. I'm pulling in my Collab mascara, also my ColourPop BFF mascara, which I should probably throw away. I kind of feel like I might be able to get another few weeks out of this thing. I feel like there's so much product in here. I've used this mascara a ton. I've officially had it for about 5 months, and I know a lot of you may say you should throw your mascara away after 3 months. I usually go more like 6, but I do really love that mascara. It's just after about 4 or 5 hours, I get quite a bit of flaking with it, so that's just something to keep in mind. Also, so happy to report to have this wonderful mascara back in my collection. This is the IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. I got this with the Sephora Lash Stash, the mascara kit that they did for the holidays. This came in there along with a full-size roller lash, which I'm excited to try that one as well. I just don't want to open it until I go through a couple of my older mascaras. A couple people mentioned that they thought they had changed the formula. It's not as good as it used to be, so I was worried that maybe I wouldn't like this as much as I liked my last tube of it, but I'm happy to report that this still works really great for me. I think it makes my lashes look incredibly long, incredibly dark, and incredibly voluminous, so super happy to use this again. And I forgot to mention one more eyeshadow. This is the Loose Pigment from the Kathleen Lights and ColourPop collection. This is in the color The Maiden. I actually pulled this into my last Shop My Stash, but I love this white frosty color for the winter time and the holidays. I mean, if I'm ever going to use a color like this, it's definitely going to be in the winter time. So I really want to keep this in here and get some more use out of it. I love pairing this with other eyeshadow palettes and other colors. I just think it's a really fun pop of sparkle and shine on either the inner corner, the inner part of the lid, or the center of the lid. So for lips, I pulled in my ColourPop liner in Oh Snap. Also pulled in my Milani Color Statement lip liner in 03 Nude, one of my all-time favorites. And this technically isn't really a lip liner, it's kind of more like a lip color pencil. This was in my Shop My Stash last go round, so during September, but I didn't really have a chance to use it, and this is definitely a very fall kind of winter appropriate shade, kind of a berry toned red. Super pretty. I love the formula of these. I know they don't make these anymore. I think if you can never find these, it'll be at like a Marshalls or a TJ Maxx. A couple other colors I wanted to go with are a nice classic red. This is Holy Grail from Persona, one of the best reds if you want just like a red that's not too orange, but also it doesn't have any pink in it. This is just like a good Hollywood red. Let me just go ahead and swatch this one for you guys. Perfect red. I mean, is that not just the most perfect red ever? Also pulled back in Petal Pusher from Hank and Henry. This one is starting to get a little expired. It's actually, look at that, it's kind of drying out and running out. Isn't that just the prettiest color ever? I know I've talked a lot about this thing over the last couple months on my channel, but, and also look at the formula. I mean, that just is such a smoothing formula. The Persona one's a little bit more liquidy. This one's just like, it's almost like a cream lipstick that dries down 95%. So you're left with like a tiny bit of transferability, but it's also a little bit more smoothing and a little bit more comfortable, but the color is just perfect. And then I recently grabbed this from CoverGirl. This is their Demi Matte Lipstick in the color 440 Trending. I have this on my lips today. Such a pretty kind of cool tone, purpley brown. And then for lip glosses, I pulled in these two from Persona Cosmetics. This one is in the color Honey. This one is in the color Pink. So Persona sent these to me, my first PR package ever. I feel like I've mentioned that in a couple of videos, but I never remember which videos I edit out of, so I'm not sure that I've actually even told you guys that yet, but one of the most exciting days for me ever. I was so excited to get the email from them that they were going to send me a couple things over, because they're a brand that I absolutely support. I love their products that I've tried from them so far. I think they're just a really good brand in general. I know a lot of you guys love them as well. I have been dying to try this gloss formula, and I've got to say, it is perfection. It's the perfect opacity. These two colors I feel like are the only two colors of lip gloss you would ever need, other than if you're wearing something really deep and vampy. If you're wearing any sort of nude lipstick, this one's a little bit more of a warm tone. This one has a little bit more of a pink tone, but they have this like opacity that's just perfect. It's not too thick to where if you're wearing a lip color underneath, it's not going to still poke through, but they're not so sheer that you can't wear them on their own. Let me just swatch them for you guys. So here is the one in pink. Just a nice classic pink, and they smell amazing. And then here's the one in Honey. You can see it's a little bit more of like a warm, peachy, semi-sheer color. So pretty. Alright you guys, so that is it for the makeup. I wanted to also walk you guys through a couple of nail polishes I picked out. I thought about doing this last time. I hope this doesn't make the video too long, but we're going to go for it anyways and just go through them really quickly. I will tell you guys now, a lot of these nail polishes you won't be able to get. These are, I usually buy my OPI nail polishes like at Marshall's or TJ Maxx, or if I find them on clearance somewhere. This is the first one I'm pulling in. This is such a pretty green. It's the color Susie, the First Lady of Nails, which I'm sure is from a limited edition collection of theirs. That's the thing I really hate about OPI, is they have so many limited edition collections, they don't keep the colors in their collection for very long. Another one from OPI is this one right here, just a nice purpley kind of brown. This is in the color Squeaker of the House. I bet those are from the same line. Who knows how long ago that was, probably several years ago, but I love this color, one of my favorite colors in the fall. I also pulled in two KL polishes. So excited for her new nail polish line. It probably will be a while before I try it, but I'm going to continue to use these because I think they're beautiful colors. This is the color Medusa, which is one of my favorites, and also the color Cancer, which by the way, I am a Cancer, and I think that's one of the best colors that she came out with in that Zodiac line. And then I pulled in two of these. So I just got this in a PR box from this company, Olive and June. I've only used the one. So the one I have on my nails right now is this one right here, which is a really rich, deep, dark chocolate brown, and this nail polish formula is, it looks and feels a lot like a gel nail. I'm not gonna lie you guys, I don't have a lot of experience with nails. I'm pretty basic when it comes to my nails. I don't get manicures. I usually use really cheap nail polish, but this stuff is so beautiful. I don't know how pretty it's looking on my nails right now, but it's super shiny. It has really good longevity. Super impressed with them so far. And the name of this color is CN. So their colors are like initials, which is kind of confusing. This is another one they sent me. It's a very pretty, just classic silver. I haven't swatched this one yet. I'm curious to see how opaque it is, but this is the color OJPAS. I'll link these down below for you guys. And forgot to mention one more thing. I did pull in my L'Oreal setting spray, which you can see is like a third, almost a half of the way gone. Reluctantly fell in love with this setting spray, and I have to admit, it's amazing. If you're into setting sprays, that one is amazing. Alright guys, and that is it for my November and December Shop My Stash. I hope that you guys enjoyed going through the products that I am excited to try and get some use out of over the next couple of months over the holiday season. Let me know if there's anything in here that you guys are especially interested in seeing in an upcoming video, perhaps in a get ready with me. Please let me know down in the comments below. But that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for stopping by, for watching. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day, and I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye.